Alright guys, so this article's just come out by Paul Joyce and it's an exclusive, and I haven't read all of the article yet. I'm going to do that with you. I thought it would be better to look at it in real time with you. I was actually just sat at my desk doing a bit of KopTalk work, and then my phone started going crazy and I read the opening and thought we better analyse what's been said. Now, you'll know, like I've been positive, thinking like this might happen at some point. If Jurgen wants him, I thought he'd get him. I don't know what the article says yet. In the run-up to the game, I said to you, look out for Joyce or Ornstein, one of those two, none of the clique, look out for one of those two. And I said around Easter weekend or just following Easter weekend, Monday or Tuesday, I don't know what day it is, I think it's Tuesday, isn't it? So this is what I expected to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to surface. I think I mentioned in a video today, keep your eyes and your ears open for Joyce or Ornstein, and here he is. Now there are reasons that that I expected. Did I expect it? Thought that something might come out was because of what we understand was happening at the weekend, which I addressed in a members video the other day. It was an hour long. And I'm not going to go into details what was in that video, but it actually sounded positive, to be honest with you. It did sound positive. It did sound positive. I don't get it. Listen, let's think about what we can say about what was in that video without it taking an hour long. No, I'm not gonna. I can't. All we can say is that if someone was gonna give you a decision about something, right? Normally, if you're not going to do something, you go, nah, it's not happening, right? To personally go to something, to talk to someone about a decision or what's happening, you would assume that would be positive, right? And I'm sure we'll do another video about this tomorrow when I've had time to think about this tonight. But if you and me were doing business and you sent me away to think about something, then I said to you, right, I'll come and see you. And I was, not travelling, across town or putting in a considerable journey to see you. You'd probably think, wouldn't you, well, he's not going to come all that way if it's not good news or positive news. So that's why I was quite upbeat about this weekend. So you can look into that and you'll work it out. So I'm not suggesting that Bellingham beats to see anybody, but let's just say people very, very close to the player. And I said, I think you're going to see something around Easter weekend or immediately after it, which is Tuesday, which is today. I need a spoon. If you're new to my channel, do not give me shit about that picture behind me, 'cause it's nothing to do with me. And if you don't like my videos on here, don't fucking watch them, right? These videos are made for my community and my friends. And if you don't like it, do one. Right, let me make my tea. So Paul Joyce has put an article out this evening, and it's an exclusive as well, which is they're not all copying each other. I'm trying to find the fucking I need to know the exact title of the article for you guys. Liverpool cool pursuit of Jude Bellingham and seek midfield alternatives. Paul Joyce exclusive. So the key thing I'm looking at that straight away is cool, not end. Cool. That means something's not right somewhere, right? Something not right somewhere. Now, if we just go back to what I said a couple of minutes ago, someone, a representative, please don't just assume an agent, went and had a sit down with Liverpool or third party representatives of Liverpool at the weekend or something to say it's not happening or this is what's going to happen and it's not Liverpool, right? Liverpool are not cooling, are they? That article would say Liverpool have ended their interest in Jude Bellingham, right? And do you really think someone's going to go all that way to say, no, it's not happening? So this is very strange for me so far. But the opening says cool. So my initial thoughts of that, before I've even read the article, is money. Liverpool not going to pay the money. That's my initial thing. Cool. That basically means, oh, well, all right, then, no, it doesn't matter. You're all right, thanks, unless you change your mind. All right? So like a negotiating tactic. I swear down, I've not even read this yet. So let's go for it, guys, together. Liverpool are drawing up a list of alternative targets to Jude Bellingham after deciding that the scale of their summer rebuild precludes a move for the England midfielder. The merits of spending far in excess of 100 million on a single player have been widely debated at Anfield as Jurgen Klopp looks to revive the fortunes of his side after an underwhelming campaign that has left them adrift of the Premier League's top four. Klopp has never disguised his admiration for Bellingham and talked the player up last summer, while the Borussia Dortmund star was understood to be enamoured by Liverpool's long-standing interest in him as he considers his future. However, rectifying this season's drop-off and infusing the squad with the first-team talent means that committing such a huge chunk of this summer funds to one player is no longer regarded by the club as the best strategy. The overall package would also be swelled by wages. Do you know, I have to interrupt here straight away, right? So this is basically Klopp being told, or Klopp realising that he hasn't got the funds to do all of what he wants to do in the summer, right? So if someone did go and attend a sit-down with whoever at the weekend, over Easter weekend, and I don't believe they were at the football fixture, they weren't coming to say no, were they? They were coming to say, you know, something positive, and someone somewhere has said we can't make it happen. This has got, or should I say, this reminds me of the Timo Werner situation. Do you remember Klopp really wanted him? And Klopp couldn't get him. The money weren't there for him. And I forget what he did at Chelsea or hasn't done at Chelsea or what he's done ever since, right? Klopp wanted him at the time. And just because he might not perform at one club, don't mean he won't perform at another. Look at Torres at Liverpool and Torres at Chelsea. Don't get into that like, oh, well, we're glad we didn't sign him. The point is the manager wanted him a lot. In fact, probably other than Bellingham, Werner was the one, I think, you know, them two players there, they're the one Klopp really wanted them, right? And if you remember rightly, Jurgen Klopp allegedly, I have to use that word, but if you Google it, you'll see the reports. Jurgen Klopp allegedly had to phone Timo Werner and say, I'm sorry, I can't make it happen. I can't make it happen because the player wanted to come to us, right? And Klopp. But Klopp couldn't make it happen. And it didn't just fade away. He was a, you know, an honest man and he didn't want to muck him around. In fact, I think that was actually said in the reports at the time, or whatever was circulating at the time, that Klopp had said, look, you know, I wanted you, but I can't, what can I do? Sort of thing. This sounds like this to me already, but we have to continue reading, right? So the overall package would also be swelled by wages, right? Let me just repeat that last paragraph. Rectifying this season's drop-off and infusing the squad with first-team talent means that committing such a huge chunk of this summer's funds to one player is no longer regarded by the club as the best strategy. It's the best strategy from where The overall package would also be swelled by wages. Liverpool are likely to sign at least 2 midfielders to bolster their engine room and have been linked to numerous targets. All of these players, I'm not going to go through them, we'll be here all night, but they're absolutely every one of them we discuss on here all of the time. And like I've said to you, I think the midfield situation is any one of those targets, you might as well go like that with a pin and stick it in and say that's who we're going to get, because I don't even think the manager knows, because there's so many factors affecting each and every single one of those deals. If McAllister, for example, McAllister wants to, if Arsenal really go all out to get him, that's going to make it difficult, and Liverpool might go, do you know what, we'll leave him, we'll go on to him. Well, obviously, we know like Matheus Nunes and people like that, Tielemans and Graven Birch, they're all there. I'm not going to go through them all. Caicedo. Then Mount in particular will be the centre of attention should he look to leave Stamford Bridge, where he has 1 year remaining on his contract, right? And then it says, I'll cut the blurb out, and would be cheaper than normal given his contract situation. The problem there, we've spoke about Mason Mount many times. We know that there was talks back in January. There was a sit down in January, if you remember. It was around the 23rd of January, if my memory serves me right. But I've been saying this last week, as much as he is up there, right? And like Nunes and Mount are the ones that I've been thinking for weeks that we'll end up with, right? Possibly. However, Mount, I think he's a Chelsea boy, right? I think he's on 80 grand a week. He wants 250, apparently, if you believe the press. I think if he gets the deal that Chelsea, if he gets a deal that he wants offered by Chelsea, I think he stays where he is. I think he only comes to Liverpool if he don't get what he wants there, all right? Arsenal also admire Graven Birch, because he's mentioned with us, obviously. We know about Graven Birch. We'll be here all night if we talk about all these links and remind everyone. The decision to diversify and focus the search for reinforcements away from the 19-year-old Bellingham will come as a blow to Liverpool supporters who hoped that he would end up at Anfield. Barring an unexpected change in circumstances, it now seems unlikely that will be the case this summer at least. That's a really, really key sentence. Really, really. Barring an unexpected change in circumstances, it now seems unlikely that will be the case this summer at least. In other words, but we might go in for him later. Right? Liverpool want to target new players as soon as the transfer window opens, and there is a risk that the pursuit of Bellingham becomes a drawn-out saga given the level of interest in him. Again, we discussed this on the live stream that I had earlier today, and I've discussed it in recent podcasts and videos, that a deal for Bellingham will have to be concluded earlier at the minute the transfer window opens, because the manager would need to know what his resources were for the rest of that window. If it dragged on all throughout the summer, and then he turns us down, or we can't make it happen, or this nonsense, or whatever, you get to the end of the window, and then boss goes, well, what now what? Or if he gets him early on in the transfer window, the boss goes, right, well, we've got hardly out left, so this is what we're going to do. So it was always critical, this one, that it was sorted early on. Bellingham also has suitors in Real Madrid, Manchester City, Chelsea, PSG, but Dortmund know the value of one of the brightest talents in the world and do not want to lose a player whose contract does not expire until 2025. There's been suggestions he could stay there another year, of course. The club's plans crystallised during the recent international break, after which Klopp said there had been positive talks on recruitment and that Liverpool were busy. He also reiterated that the owner, Fenway Sports Group, was providing significant funds. Significant, again, did you know what he said? Fucking hate that word. We will spend in the summer, for who and how many, there is nothing to say. That's what he said at the time, right? Last Friday, however, Klopp hinted that whoever Liverpool now bring in would not appease everyone. And he said at the time, whatever we do next year will never be enough from people's point of view and your, the media, point of view. But yes, with smart recruitment, we will improve. Definitely, that is the plan. Now, the smart recruitment, when I saw him mention that the other day, that did make me worry a little bit. Because I think that is like, that's the opposite of spending a lot of money in it, right? So instead of spending 100 million on him, we could maybe get 2 or 3 players with that money. Smart. There have been plenty of examples in recent years of Liverpool making a stand over recruitment, even in their pragmatism proved... What the fuck? Just write it in English, man. Well, it is English, but write, them words that we can fucking understand. As Bill Shankly would pull him up for that immediately. proved relatively unpopular at the time. In the summer of 2017, the club resisted the obvious temptation to buy a centre-back, preferring instead to wait 6 months to bring in Virgil van Dijk for what was a club record £75 million fee in the new year. Southampton's refusal to sell the Holland defender earlier, their position stemming from Liverpool's initial conduct over the transfer, did not persuade Anfield officials to veer from their strategy. I'm not liking the sound of you right now, Paul Joyce. This sounds very in bed with them people. Van Dijk had been earmarked. We don't care. I'm trying not to swear. We don't care about Van Dijk. What happened how many years ago? 5, 6 years ago? Who cares? Who cares? Seriously, who gives a fuck about Van Dijk now? It's 2023. Holy sh! I'm trying not to get my video in trouble. Van Dijk had been earmarked as the best around, and while there were other cheaper alternatives, the belief was he could solve a problem position for years to come in an instant. There was some turbulence in the short term, but Van Dijk's belated arrival did prove transformational, and he became one of the cornerstones for the Champions League and Premier League success that followed. Similarly, the decision to sell Philippe Coutinho just as Van Dijk was coming in through the door was hardly greeted as a cause for celebration. Even if Barcelona's £142 million offer and the player's determination to force through the move he had been denied the previous August softened the blow, the Brazil star has not been missed. What? We don't care about Philippe Coutinho. Liverpool also refused to buckle over Wijnaldum's contract demands in the summer of 2021 and allowed a popular player to leave on a free transfer. Yeah, and one of the biggest mistakes ever in recent years. The recruitment team, Klopp and I'm going to have to shut this door because I'm going to start fucking raging. Fuck this shit off. The recruitment team, Klopp and FSG, will stand or fall by how next season now plays out. The recruitment team, Klopp and FSG, for many Liverpool supporters, the development will be hugely disappointing, such as the clamour that has developed around the Borussia Dortmund midfielder who turns 20 in the summer. It was early last July when the disappointment of the club's failed quadruple bid still lingered, though few of the problems that have since been linked to it were publicly aired. That Klopp spoke about his admiration for the England midfield. So then he's going on about back at the time, the Liverpool manager said he's not on the market, so that's the first problem with that player. Well, the only problem with that player. As such, Bellingham is still not available for transfer. With Dortmund eager to keep the midfielder, everyone's available for transfer because everyone has a price. Everyone. Absolutely everything and everyone on this planet has a price, right? With Dortmund eager to keep the midfielder, there was 2 years left on his contract beyond this summer. Yet the lofty price tag that accompanies his talent, thought to be around 120 million, is now an issue for a club who are no longer buying from a position of strength. Fuck right off. Nothing. Position of strength, as in, what the fuck? It don't matter whether we've just won the Champions League, the league, or anything. It won't make any fucking difference with these people. The fuck are you talking about? In many respects, Liverpool have created their own problem. They chose not to sign a midfielder in the summer of 2022 when interest in Orléans touched, you know what I mean, of AS Monaco was trumped by Real Madrid, who ended up paying £68 million and committed to a further £70 million in bonuses. I think he's digging at the manager, mate. I do. Do you know what, guys? You know, when I always think, right, I need to calm down, I need some Valium or something. My hands are shaking. You've got to remember, when somebody plants this shit in a journalist's head, right, what their motive is for putting that out there, right? Why are we reading it? Who does it benefit, right? And this, to me, is already saying, when we didn't signed that kid last summer, which we were all, basically blaming Klopp. Because we chose not to sign a midfielder in the summer. And Liverpool are not in the powers that they were when they were up the league. That's what that means. That's how that reads to me. And that reads to me that someone said, yeah, we're not doing it, Paul. We're not going to go for it. The money's not there. So this hasn't come from Klopp or someone like that, is what I'm saying to you, right? And, you know, at the end of the day, Jurgen did, you know, in the summer, it's his own fault. And we're not up there now, and we haven't got the Champions League revenue money now, you know, because we crashed out in top four. It's highly unlikely, you know, so it's Klopp's own doing, really. And I'll tell you something else now. This ties in with something that was on the members' website a few weeks ago when Klopp allegedly had a phone call with someone at the club, high up in the club, we think, and had an alleged slamming of the phone down, stormed out in an area, a communal area at the club, not where the fans are, just the, you know, at the training centre or whatever. Stormed out 5 minutes later, came back and apologised and allegedly said, you've got to be careful, allegedly said, well, I guess it's my own fault. It's my fault, innit? It's my own fault, or something like that. You'd have to look on there, I can't remember what it all said. I'm fucking raging, me. Right, so despite that disappointment of not getting the midfielder in the summer, Klopp was confident he had enough depth. So Klopp was confident he had enough depth, Paul. You know what I mean? That's what he said, didn't he? He said he had enough depth, and he, you know, we haven't, you know, it's his wrongdoing, isn't it? Sorry, Jurgen, but we can't make it happen. Storm up, I'm telling you, it's all linked. Sometimes I tell you things, or we discuss things, and I'll say to you, can't elaborate on that at the moment, guys, but maybe something will, you know, come up later and we'll look back at it, and, you know, you can't prove it, can you? You can only speculate, and that's all we're doing is speculating. Despite that disappointment, Klopp was confident he had enough depth. And then they go on quoting Klopp. By then, the club had invested £64 million, rising to £85 million in Benfica's Darwin Núñez. In other words, and you know what, Paul, we did back him because, you know, we did give that money. Benfica's Darwin Núñez to follow on from the initial £37 million used surprised Luis Diaz from Porto 3 months ago. A further £37 million was spent on PSV Eindhoven's Cody Gakpo to further future-proof the front line. So, Paul, I mean, like, we can't maybe go for Bellingham, and, you know, he said in the summer it's his own fault if we've not up there. You know, he made that decision, and we've still backed him with these players. There's the proof in the pudding. You've got to imagine, guys, it's not far-fetched. Someone spoke to Paul Joyce today. Someone. Who? Does that sound like Jurgen Klopp speaking to him? It won't be FSG. Well, it won't be FSG in Boston FSG. In the meantime, the midfield has become the issue many feared it would be. Another dig at Klopp. And maybe it's justified. Maybe it's right to criticise Klopp. Who knows? But I just think this is what this is. And results have conspired to leave Liverpool out of the cup competitions and off the pace in the league. Naby Keita and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain are leaving on free transfers, injuries have raid, and the drop-off in form from players such as Fabinho have highlighted weaknesses. Clearly the club feels an overhaul is now required, and signings may be sought in other areas too. This situation is not being viewed as similar to that of Van Dijk or even Alisson, who joined for £65 million in the summer of 2018. Who gives a fuck about 2018? Seriously, to solve a pressing goalkeeping conundrum. Rather, it is one that requires more ammunition than a silver bullet. Whether they are shooting themselves in the foot, only time will tell. Well, guys, honestly, I could go mental. It's late at night. You know, maybe you know, like sometimes, and the wishful thinking will want to say, it's just part of the game, Duncan, the negotiating tactics and stuff like that. And maybe it is, but I don't think so on this occasion. I want to be positive for you guys. And I have been positive because I don't understand why. I can't say about the weekend on here. I just can't. But I don't see why that would have happened at the weekend to say, no, it's not happening. And why would they would know at the weekend anyway if, you know, this was not going to happen, depending on who it was having the thing. So something's happened over the weekend. And I told you to listen out for Easter weekend or just immediately after it, which was the Tuesday. This to me sounds like the Timo Werner situation all over again. Boss wants him, told he can't have him. There you go. That's it. That's all you need to know. And when you look at this, where it says, basically, this article is like completely sticking a dagger in everyone's heart, and we've had these numpties online today, and people have been approaching me about it. Some caught offside have said Liverpool have bid for Bellingham today. Well, if you believe that, you're an absolute numpty, right? I basically said that earlier. And anyone, I'll tell you right now, I mentioned this on the members' website today, anyone that writes, in quotes, well respected in a statement, right, even if it's true, usually does so to try and back up their weak claims, right? So if that's a journalist that you've got respect for and they say, well, yeah, according to John Smith, Jack Daniels, the well-respected journalists, in that field, then fine. But if it's a numpty saying it, right, on Twitter, or someone that's forever spamming you with betting links or affiliation links, selling LFC merchandise to you, or they've got websites plastered with advertising, and those types are using statements like the well-respected, they're talking shite, all right? I know they're talking shite, that is for sure. You believe what you want. And as I said on here, we've been speaking about this. Adam Naylor, the YouTuber, Liverpool channel, go and follow him. He's great. He's Adam. I love him. We were talking on a stream today, and we had a call the other night on live on here, and like he pointed out, are Dortmund really going to announce anything to do with Bellingham? When you look at the league position in the Bundesliga, where Dortmund are at the moment, you don't announce anything. If you were the chief executive of Dortmund and your player comes to you and says, I want to announce where I'm going now, Dortmund are second in the Bundesliga, 2 points behind Bayern Munich. Both played 27. It's neck and neck. Do you really think that that anyone's going to announce what's happening to Bellingham at the moment? And like he's been, like I said today on the members' website, people have been saying for the last 24 hours, well, he's going to make a decision, he's been making that fucking decision for months. If you listen to these numpties, why do you do it to yourselves, guys? Absolute fucking numb. And what was the other thing they said about caught offside? Well, yeah, because Fabrizio Romano, he contributes to caught offside. You've got to believe what they're saying, guys. What a load of shit. Who believes anything caught offside ever since a million fucking years? Oh. I don't think it's a negotiating tactic. Could be, but I don't think it is. And whoever is the mouthpiece behind that, feeding the info, should I say, to Joyce, who's run this as an exclusive, guys, all right? They're blaming Klopp in that article. In my opinion, you read it again or go and have a look at it, and this is what you just got to analyse everything, the things he's saying, is fair, is fair, but the article sounds like a huge deflection from the failure of the club and the hierarchy to provide the funds for the manager for a player he's wanted forever. And that is not how Liverpool Football Club have operated over the years as I've been a supporter all my life. Liverpool Football Club, traditionally, the manager told the chief executive who we wanted, the chief executive told the board, and the board made it happen. There was no such thing as a transfer kitty. They made it happen. And our board don't make it happen. And I don't want to make this into an FSG out thing, because I couldn't give a flying about them people right now. But if ever you need confirmation about them fuckers, it's now. And the reason I'm so angry, right, The reason I'm so angry, right, because I'm not shocked about it, you've got to be honest with you, I'm not shocked about it. I was feeling positive. Because those things that happened at the weekend. Then you do not make a huge journey to sit down with someone and go, no, we're not doing it, thanks. He's off of there, he's off the City instead. That's bullshit. It does not happen. So you can only speculate, did they come at the weekend or did this person, I know who the person was and it was a +1 as well. I don't know who the +1 was. I can only speculate as to who that would be. Did they come and go, right, this is exactly what it'll cost to make it happen? I've got to be honest with you guys, I genuinely, I didn't say this to you because I didn't want to get your hopes up. I genuinely, 1 billion% thought that they were coming this weekend to tell Liverpool it was on, that the lad was up for it, it was on. That's what I thought. And I didn't say a thing like that to you, did I? Because it would be wrong for me to do so. Even with a million disclaimers, even if I said it's just my opinion, and it was just my opinion because of the buzz. And I would love to tell you a bit more about stuff that from in the run up to the weekend, right? But I can't. There's a little bit on the members video on here and on the members website, but you don't need to go and watch it because it's irrelevant now. I was convinced that they were coming, and I thought you guys were going to get good news. I really did. I didn't think anything was going to come out this week to confirm it, but I said I think we're going to see some stuff at the weekend. I genuinely did think that it didn't surprise me. When I started to see over the last 24 hours or so, this, he's made a decision, we're going to find out soon where he's going and all that rubbish. Well, maybe not find out soon, but there's been a decision. Like, we've heard that for months, but when I heard it this time, I thought that's related to the weekend. They've come and told us the decision. Real Madrid, in the run-up to the weekend, suddenly, this weekend, through their mouthpieces, said that they'd ended their interest in him or whatever, which to me is, I don't know, I genuinely thought, because it all tied in, if you watch the video, you know what I'm talking about. I genuinely thought, you can see how excited I am, because I can think about everything in that week, how it was going. Real Madrid now, it's not happening. We don't want him. We're not going to focus on other things now. Yeah, that's because there's a decision being made somewhere that don't fucking suit you, right? And then we know that they're coming to Liverpool at the weekend, right? Why did they come to Liverpool? To say no, it doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. Absolute nonsense. Speculation, the next part, right? This bit now is speculation. This isn't based on anything anywhere, right? I just think they came at the weekend to say, it's on, we can do it, but this is exactly what it's going to cost you in black and white. There you go. And then, when does the weekend consist of? Was it Thursday? Was it Friday? Was it Saturday? Was it Sunday? Was it Monday? And then today, I fucking predicted, I don't know, I didn't know it was going to come out. I knew Joyce was going to surface. But I didn't think he was going to say that. I've been fucking wetting myself all weekend for you guys, because I know how much it means. I couldn't give a fuck. Sick of them. Who gives a fuck about who we signed in 2018? Or what we did or didn't do 6 years ago? Do you think Manchester City care about that? Do you think Sir Alex Ferguson, when he was winning everything, was looking about, well, this is what we did last year? What difference does that make? Absolute nonsense. Oh, we spent 75 million. So what? Manchester City's spending it all the time. Look at Newcastle, Chelsea. I knew it. And I knew Joyce would surface today. I just had it in me. I didn't... Look, I can't predict nothing, right? I'm not an ITK. No one rings me up and says, hey, this is what's going on, you little fat fucker. Go and tell everybody on YouTube. No. Don't be so childish. Don't be so ridiculous. But I knew that Joyce was going to surface. I just knew. I was told to look out for him. I added Ornstein as a get out. You know, I thought, well, just cover yourself a bit, Dunk, because maybe it'll be Ornstein that comes out with it. I'll be completely honest with you. But I didn't think it would be Ornstein for the simple reason that I think Ornstein is more to do with John Henry and co over there. It was Joyce that I've been looking for. And I knew it'd be today. I said it on the stream earlier today. Well, I didn't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know. How do I know? It's not a bluff. There's a part of me that's going, yeah, but don't, it's just a bit of bluff, innit? It's a bit of bluff, Dunk. I mean, if you think about it, what he's saying, he has not said Liverpool have ended. Now, I'm not clutching here, right? I genuinely think they've got no intentions of doing it now. This morning, I felt differently. We had a live stream on here today for about 2 hours. And I said to you guys, I'm confident because of what was going on at the weekend. Because why would you come all that way to say it ain't happening? And Real Madrid, a few days earlier, saying, it's off. Which made me think he's made a decision. And then we start hearing about decisions. And then we're told, listen out for Joyce after the weekend or Ornstein. But I said today, you know, my opinion might change by this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow. My opinions change. I don't think this is. I know I've already seen it on the members' website. Some people saying, don't come on, it's just a distraction, innit? What the members saying here. A little bit about the weekend. But you see, I don't know if Okay, so calm down. I'm just reading a couple of the posts on this. On the members' website, we have what's called the Executive Lounge, and then a subsection of that called the Scouting Department, and there's like a live thread on there to do with Jude Bellingham. And there is a couple of members have posted things that are not factual, they're opinions. And one here that you might like, just to throw in a different, a more calmer view maybe, says, we know met us at the weekend. I can't say the name. We also know Dortmund are in a title race. Neither club can have news of bids this early for their star player. When the meeting shouldn't actually be known. Makes sense they cool things down for now. That's a good point, actually. It's a good point. Maybe I'm overreacting. Because of the weekend. I just you don't come to say no. You just don't. It'd be like me putting my house on market and someone from England being interested in buying it and getting a flight out to Alicante and coming here and me going, oh, nice one. And then they come here and we go, should we go out for a bite to eat? Yeah, and say, right, I've been your house, don't you? Yeah, well, I'm not buying it. Well, what are you fucking here for then? Come on, guys. Did that meeting at the weekend, man? It worked. No, it wasn't. I can't. I'm not having that. And anyway, it doesn't even suggest that. It suggests that it's financial. Cool interest. Right, it's true. I've got to put the bits in now for anyone that's throwing themselves off a bridge or contemplating doing so. In football, anything can change. All right, anything can change. If you're Jude Bellingham and you're reading that tonight, what are you thinking if that's the move you want? But I remember thinking stuff like this with Timo Werner. And then we had Klopp ringing him up, personal call, I'm sorry I can't make it happen, I wanted to bring you here. That was what Klopp's supposed to have said. You haven't done anything wrong, nothing's changed, I want you here, but the money's not there. And to me, it's just stinks of typical FSG, that's all. We can all want and keep the door open and say it doesn't send Liverpool, say Liverpool have ended their interest. My watch is asking me if I'm stressed. It doesn't say Liverpool have ended their interest, it says cool their interest. It says unless things change dramatically or whatever. It didn't say dramatically, but whatever it said, then, you know, maybe Liverpool could, you know, I don't know. But I think you'd be silly to hold on to this one. Always keep the door open. I know that. Always keep the door open. I'm gonna write an editorial about this tomorrow, and I've got to put it down in text as well. It'll be interesting to see what some of my friends are saying this evening. I swear to God, I thought that's what was going to come out today. But I didn't want to get your hopes up, so I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that. I'm glad I didn't. But I'm really disappointed, guys. Because I know, you know, those of you that have followed me for years, you know, and those of you that support me and are on the members site or a member on here or whatever, you know, we have our little discussions that are not out there for everyone to see. And you know that you know, I get excited for you guys. So I know it means a lot to you, and I know that you'll listen to me, and I know for a fact you'll all have been watching and waiting for Joyce to come out today, this weekend, or after Easter weekend. So I know that you're all feeling the same as me right now. I've not even spoke to any of you about it. I can guarantee you now, if I open this phone up, there'll be messages. There's messages all over, look. Has that really come out? That's the 11th. I need to verify that myself before I read it. No, I'm going to read it to you. According to Chris Bascom, is anyone paying attention to Chris Bascom anymore? Just wondering. Jurgen Klopp is fully on board with the decision not to go for Jude Bellingham. He ain't got no fucking choice, has he? Let's be honest. What do you mean fully on board? And how do you know that anyway? And how come he's coming out with that now? Joyce has spoken and now the click's fucking chiming in. I won't trust any of them as far as I could throw them. I'm really, really, really angry. I need to sleep on it. I need to think about it when I leave this video. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm going to think about it. And I'm going to check on my emails, because I know I haven't looked at my emails. And we'll regroup tomorrow. Club's a joke, man. I'm having a meltdown. I'm having a meltdown. I'm always on here saying, I don't give a fuck, I don't care. I'm absolutely exasperated with it. I really am. I just wish they'd just go. If we, you know what I mean, like if we'd have had these, you know, it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change with these people. I don't think so. And I try so hard not to be depressed with you guys, and I also try so hard not to be too excited. But I'm lost tonight. And if the video's shit, I'm sorry, it's shit. What can I do? It's raw emotion, it's real. Someone left a comment earlier and said they watched one of my videos and said, what a waste of time. I think it was 6 minutes long, I think. Just like a little friendly, fun video, you know, just popping around, doing a bit of shopping, talking to you guys today while I was on the move. What a waste of time, he said. Still had time to comment, like, you know, which makes him look a right fucking plank, really. What a waste of my time that's been, but I'm going to split here and post you a comment anyway. check the comment. I don't know if the video's still there. I make my videos for the KopTalk community, primarily my members and my supporters and the people that subscribe to this YouTube channel, the people that enjoy my content, and I've done since the 1990s. We don't give a fuck if you don't like these videos. So fuck you. Sorry guys, I don't know, this video might not be here in the morning, I don't know. I really need to think about things and see what everybody's saying. There is one very, very, very small comment that I found. I've just read a few comments on the members website, and that comment there that said, if there's a hint of Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund doing anything at the moment during that title race, and if, Dortmund are not successful in the league, there would be holy fucking hell on. So it would make sense to cool it. It really would. Now that's if you is your glass half full or is it half empty? How you think? Because even I want to think that, but I know what these people are like. And you've got to remember, there was a time when the relations when we tried to sign Virgil van Dijk. I've just been studying a minute ago talking about Huggies about years ago. Well, it's relevant. It's nothing to do with defending money that's been spent on a player, right? The reason I'm mentioning Virgil van Dijk is because at the time, his club was so put out by Liverpool and angry and issuing statements and all that lots of us thought, oh, that's not going to happen. But it still did. Fuck off, Virgil van Dijk. Jude Bellingham, I've probably called him Bellamy a million times in this video. If he'd have come to Liverpool this summer, he would have given Liverpool fans that the Liverpool community the big lift that they needed, even if we didn't get anyone fucking else, and even though it wouldn't have been the answer to everything. There's so much toxicity around the fan base, so many depressed Reds. Everybody's been really rooting for this and hoping for it. Never say never. I've got to be honest. Never say never. It wouldn't surprise me if it did still happen, but I'm a bit dubious about it. I feel like whoever's briefed Joyce there has been putting a few reminders out. Well, it's the manager's own failing, isn't it? If we ain't got that extra bit of money. And we did back him with this and this. Do you know when I was recording this video, right at the start of it, I got so angry I nearly threw my tablet into the sink and then smashed it to pieces. I didn't, because it would be a stupid thing to do, but I felt so angry. I guess I'm just disappointed because of, I thought we were going to get some, I didn't say listen out for Joyce, there's going to be some good news. Just said listen out for it. I didn't want to commit either way. I guess I got that bit right. So they were right. All of it was right. All of it. There's no prizes for being right, no. What difference does it make, really? Just makes them ITKs look fucking stupid today. It's worth it for that. There's no way they came to Liverpool to say we're not doing it. So it's an issue at Liverpool Football Club. It's them and it's money, and that's all it is. If you maybe it is a bargaining tactic. Liverpool. I will say this as well. If they were out, it would definitely, that headline would say Liverpool end their interest. It just says cool. And cooling at the moment while they're doing that race in the Bundesliga is a possibility, but I don't know, guys. Let's sleep on it. Let's please get your anger up. Get your anger out now in the comments, and we'll regroup tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Please, if you've got any thoughts on this whatsoever, be they negative or positive, please put them in the comment section. And if you watch this video, come back tomorrow and read the comments again, because the fans that follow my channel, some really, really clued up people that come up with things that make you think. And if you're on the members website, obviously, follow that thread overnight, because the Bellingham update thread, follow that overnight, because all sorts might appear on there. We might get tagged on there or something. He might come in, he might drop in and say something if he hasn't already, on Twitter or somewhere. Although he keeps the best for us. he'll be fucking raging. Tag will be raging. FSG fucking is. He calls John Henry the corpse. It's a bit harsh. And if you're a channel member on here, you might as well. I don't know if you want to watch my video from the other day. It was about an hour long. I can't remember when I uploaded it. Probably Friday or Saturday. I don't know. And that will explain to you why I'm so disappointed and why I am firmly of the opinion that nobody travels all that way to say that it's not happening. So some shit's gone off somewhere. To me, it sounds like they've come in and said, this is how much it'll cost. This is what it's going to cost. And Liverpool have gone, fuck that. Jurgen Klopp's fully on board with fucking FSG. You. Fuck. See you in the morning, guys.